discovered them. He stole the body of Osiris and tore it into many pieces, scattering them throughout Egypt. He was sure that Osiris would never be reborn. Yet Isis would not despair. She implored the help of her sister Nephthys, kind Nephthys, to guide her and help her find the pieces of Osiris. Long did they search, bringing each piece to Thoth that he might work magic upon it. When all the pieces were together, Thoth went to Anubis, lord of the dead. Anubis sewed the pieces back together, washed the entrails of Osiris, embalmed him, wrapped him in linen, and cast the ritual of life. When Osiris' mouth was opened, his spirit re-entered him and he lived again. Yet nothing that has died, not even a god, may dwell in the land of the living. Osiris went to Duat, the abode of the dead. Anubis yielded the throne to him and he became the lord of the dead. There he stands in judgment over the souls of the dead. He commends the just to the blessed land, but the wicked he condemns to be devoured by a Amid. When Set heard that Osiris lived again, he was wroth, but his anger waned, for he knew that Osiris could never return to the land of the living. Without Osiris, Set believed he would sit on the throne of the gods for all time. Yet on his island, Horus, the son of Osiris and Isis, grew to manhood and strength. Set sent many serpents and demons to kill Horus, but he defeated them. When he was ready, his mother Isis gave him great magic to use against Set, and Thoth gave him a magic knife. Horus sought out Set and challenged him for the throne. Set and Horus fought for many days, but in the end Horus defeated Set and castrated him. But Horus, merciful Horus, would not kill Set, for to spill the blood of his uncle would make him no better than he. Set maintained his claim to the throne, and Horus laid claim himself as the son of Osiris. The gods began to fight amongst another, those who supported Horus and those who supported Set. But Nebjetet leaped into the middle and demanded that the gods end this struggle peacefully or Mat would be imbalanced further. He told the gods to seek the counsel of Neith. Neith, warlike though wise in counsel, told them that Horus was the rightful heir to the throne. Horus cast Set into the darkness where he lives to this day. And so it is that Horus watches over us while we live, and gives guidance to the pharaoh while he lives, and his father Osiris watches over us in the next life. So it is that the gods are at peace. So it is that Set, wicked Set, eternally strives for revenge, battling Horus at every turn. When Horus wins, Mat is upheld and the world is at peace. When Set wins, the world is in turmoil. But we know that dark times do not last forever, and the bright rays of Horus will shine over us again. In the last days, Horus and Set will fight one last time for the world. Horus will defeat Set forever, and Osiris will be able to return to this world. On that day, the day of awakening, all the tombs shall open and the just dead shall live again as we do, and all sorrow shall pass away forever. Lo, this is my tale. Keep it in your hearts and give it to others, as I gave it to you. Wow, that was an amazing story.
Dad knows lots of great Egyptian stories. One of my all-time favorites is the tale of Osiris and Isis. Long ago, Osiris, the god king, ruled the land of Egypt with his wife, the beautiful and smart Isis. Osiris was a wise and great ruler who brought civilization to Egypt. He taught us how to plant crops and care for animals. He gave us a code of laws to live by and showed us how to worship the gods. It was a beautiful time and everyone was happy, except for one person. Set, Osiris's brother. He was really jealous. He wanted Osiris's power for himself. So he tricked Osiris into getting into a coffin. Then he nailed the coffin shut and threw it in the Nile. Osiris's coffin floated down the river to the sea and away from the land of Egypt. Isis was heartbroken. She searched high and low so she could find Osiris's body and make sure he had a proper burial. Meanwhile, Set stole the throne of Egypt, but he was cruel and unkind. There were wars and people were hungry. It was a very dark time. Dad says that Set thought he conquered Osiris's throne forever, but he didn't count on the power of love. Isis never gave up. She finally found Osiris's coffin near a tree far to the north. With magical help from Thoth, the god of wisdom, she brought Osiris back to life. But even the most powerful magic can't bring the dead back to our world. So Osiris became the king of the next world. But that's not the end of the story. Isis and Osiris had a son, Horus. When Horus grew up, he fought Set to win back the throne of Egypt. Horus won the battle and banished Set into the darkness, where he lives to this day. Now Horus rules over us from his god throne and advises our pharaohs, and Osiris rules over the next world. From time to time, Set tries to battle Horus for the throne. That's when we have wars and famine. But Dad says one day Horus will vanquish Set once and for all, and then we will live in peace and prosperity forever.
Story. The tale of Osiris exists as fragments written in hieroglyphs. In hieroglyphs, every picture represents letters and words. Sometimes Egyptians would write on stone, other times on papyrus. Papyrus was an early type of paper made out of reeds from the Nile River. Anyway, we know about hieroglyphs from a famous translation from Egyptian into ancient Greek. This famous translation was on a stone. It is kept in the British Museum in London. It is called the Rosetta Stone. It is the most important artifact that can help us to understand ancient Egyptian society. Thank you for listening. I hope to talk to you again soon. Goodbye.
Oh yeah, papyrus. Another gift of the Nile, and another great Egyptian invention. Papyrus is a plant that grows along the banks of the Nile. It's really dangerous to harvest because hippos, crocodiles, and snakes live in the water, which is why these men are singing loudly and beating the water with their oars. But the papyrus plant is important to us. We eat it, use it for boats, burn it for fuel, and even make sandals with it. And we make scrolls out of it. First, we cut the inside of the stalks into strips. Then we lay the strips at right angles to each other. Pound them until they stick together, and then glue the sheets together to make scrolls. What a great invention! For the first time in history, we could pick up our writing and carry it with us. We could never do that with one of these obelisks. Papyrus makes it possible for us to write down much more information and save it easily. As Dad always says, information is power, and papyrus has helped make Egypt very powerful. Papyrus can be fun, too. We even created the first comic strips. Some are over 100 feet long.